if you're gonna laugh like ha 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 really loud, you back up, because we get this weird like.
Do it very jovially.
I'm gonna check if my phone is off.
Will you hand me my phone over there?
Yeah, okay, it's on airplane.
We were not prepared for this moment.
I'm really sorry. Hey everybody, it's Abby, your everyday mermaid, and this is
Lauren.
my mergal pal, and this is Christine Ren. Oh, and this is show everybody who this is Jade. He can totally sit with us. He's fine.
he can
I mean, he's not wearing pink, but whatever.
Oh, whatever. For those of you who are just listening and have no idea what just happened, a dog just popped up and sat with Christine, her cute little dog, Jade. He's super cute.
He is cute.
Yes, but this is Christine, everybody. Welcome to the podcast, Christine.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we're so glad to have you. You know.
Why are you here?
Yeah, let's tell everybody.
Well, I'm here actually with my underwater photographer contact, Justin Lutsky.
He's in the audience.
He's in audience filming right now.
Yes.
We've got multiple cameras going. And we came into town to do an underwater play day, a photo event where I teach underwater movement, posing, flow, surrender techniques, and Justin captures amazing portraits of everyone. So you lovely ladies brought in your Nashville Mermaid pod, and we had a glorious marathon mermaid day yesterday.
It was glorious. Lauren was unable to make this lovely day.
I don't know why.
Lauren.
I'm just like, I'm in poor shape as a mermaid.
Well, you'll get. I mean, you finally have gotten into a tail.
That's
so
true.
Step one.
Baby swims.
Baby swims. Yes, Lauren.
So, yes. Sorry. If you guys recall, during the LA episode, Abby met Christine because she did an underwater play day in Los Angeles.
Yes.
So that's how
So
we all met. And then Abby and Christine got to scheming
Yes.
about bringing her all the way out here
Yes.
for another play day.
Yes.
And thus, now she's here.
And now she's here. And and Justin did the photography at the one in LA as well. So we had to bring the team, here to Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm so thankful that we had the Nashville Mermaid Pod because they came out with all their beautiful things. Miss Phelan, Miss Phelan.
She does never disappoint.
She never disappoints. She brought this purple underwater fairy water nymph situation, and I was like, I cannot cope with the magicalness. Like, it was so beautiful. And then we had some of the other mermaids in their tails, but we also had Richard the underwater merman swimming all the way.
Erie, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
He drove all the way down.
He and his glorious hair.
Oh, you know what? It looks, his photos, I got a little sneak peek last night, and I was like, he's going to flip out. His hair is on point. He does these, if y'all don't know who he is, y'all should go check him out. He's UW Merman on Instagram. And his shots on Instagram, it's his thing. His hair is always kind of in his face, really mysterious like.
It's like, now I know how they got the idea behind Ariel's hair.
Yes.
They didn't put a woman in the water and draw her. They put him in the water and drew his hair. Because it is the most glorious thing, and 100% why I have unrealistic expectations for my own hair in the water.
Yes.
Likewise, and I chopped all mine off recently,
did.
so I was like really in hair envy.
Yes.
I was staring underwater being like, I miss my hair.
I know.
I chopped it off for a purpose, for a reason, and I like it. It's very pixie.
It's gorgeous.
I love it.
But
It's good.
we just don't see photos. I like to do the like atypical mermaid thing, and we don't have any photos of women underwater with short hair. So I was like, I'm going to try that for a little while.
Yeah. Do you know Katie Mermaid, Ohio's first mermaid on Instagram? She's got short, cute blonde hair.
No, I've never seen her.
She's the only one that I know that has like the short blonde hair, but she rocks it. She is like so cute and like she does her own thing and rocks it. So y'all should like coordinate. Like together and do some mermaid
Team up.
things. Yes.
Pixie cut, haircut,
Yes.
underwater shoot.
Yeah.
So how did you like get into underwater like posing and photography and movement?
Yeah, my background is actually in dance performance, so
It's not shocking.
not shocking. And I had the opportunity after kind of performing for a while in New York to decide to double major in science field and dance. I kind of have
cool.
this art science brain going on. And as a part of my college, Goucher College in Towson, they require every student to do a study abroad. And so I did tropical marine ecology. And during that course, that was really like, I got scuba certified
That's
for
so
the first
cool.
time. And
So cool.
that was totally my mermaid moment because I fell in love with this underwater world and the realm, and just to hear this ecology professor that I was studying under and telling me all about coral reefs, that we might lose them in our lifetime, it felt very resonant for me as something I could really dedicate a higher education and a master's degree to. So I would say that was like my initial entry point and into like ocean and underwater and love. And slowly over like the many years, it became clear as I moved into film, I always carried around this idea, how do I combine all three of these things that I love so much, like film, ocean conservation, dance. So I kind of always carried around a sketchbook with different ideas for underwater photos that might convey ocean conservation in interesting ways. And eventually I found a photographer that did this underwater work. His name's Brett Stanley.
Oh, not that one.
No,
over there.
not that one. Justin's more recent. But, Brett really took a chance on some of my concepts that I was drawing, and we put out that first campaign, and it was like kind of from there it really took off. So,
And how you and Mermaid Linden have never met, we'll never know. 'Cause that's
know.
literally her entire thing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is almost to the same storyline, exactly how she got into what she does,
Really.
which is underwater documentary and filmmaking of creatures and ecology, and
Amazing.
that's exactly how she got into mermaiding as well. It's just like tried on her first monofin while she was out on
Yeah,
location.
she was on a shoot, and then somehow,
amazing.
Like once she got certified, she said like the moment that she like was scuba went down for the first time like into the reefs and stuff, like she was crying in her masks, like it was like this big aha moment for her. And so yeah, I think once we like are able to go down there and like see the beauty of it all, it kind of changes things. So which is great for what you do, because you're creating that visual aspect for folks to see and kind of understand the need for it, because I think a lot of people just don't know.
It's very true. And we just haven't, to date had a lot of imagery that really puts a human figure in the portrait and creating that connection, ocean conservation really as a human issue. This is not, let's just save the environment. It's integral to our survival on this planet. And I really have taken in my, I could call them artivism photo campaigns,
Nice.
art as activism. I have really attempted to take what I know from a science level related to ocean acidification and climate change, and translate that in a compelling visual medium.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, because I've seen some of your photography and posing that you've done, and it's really, really something.
Thank you.
Especially with the red tide outfit that you have. I went way down the Instagram
Yeah.
rabbit hole.
Was it body paint?
Oh my gosh. One of them more recent was it the coral bleaching?
Yeah, the coral bleaching.
With the body paint.
With the body paint,
Yeah, totally.
Tell us more about that experience. Like, what did you do? Was the body paint? How did you do that?
How do we do that? Well, luckily I live in the land of epic creatives of Los
Yeah.
Angeles right now. So there's no shortage of creatives who want to kind of pitch in and help me create one of these visions. So there's a body paint artist that I've worked with in the past, and she's, her name's Lana Chromium. She's like Skin Wars TV show winner.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she's incredible. And I had this, idea I was really passionate about. I'm super passionate about coral reefs, just in general, and their health, and that they're bleaching. And I think the disconnect that comes a lot is I try and find an issue to raise awareness about that has a clear kind of problem solution set up. Those are a little, I think, more readily taken up and shared. Plastic pollution, right?
Yeah.
It's easier to fix than something as complex and multifaceted as ocean acidification or climate change. So with this campaign that we did, there's a link between your chemicals that we have and the chemical sunscreens and causing coral bleaching. So, I went back to my go-to, photographer at the time, Brett Stanley, and, shared with him some ideas I had for trying to kind of have white and red in the handprints on the body that would show kind of how like a touch of bleach that on our hands, it's kind of like having blood on your hands or something, but it's white. It's like these sunscreens we're using. If I'm holding a coral prop and we're seeing that my hands are really causing that bleaching. So it was kind of the premise of it.
Yeah, that was powerful.
That was something, actually, I brought it to the swim day. I just got my first Cause box.
Oh, yes.
Which is a subscription service. And I wanted to go... I knew I wanted a subscription service of some kind for my birthday. And so I asked for CauseBox because I had done some research on them, and I knew that they tried to use a lot more eco-friendly products, tried to use a lot more vegan-friendly products, although they don't tout themselves as a vegan box because they're like, we can't guarantee it, and we're not going to exclude some of our artists that we really, really love just because they might use some of those products. And one of the things that I got in it was a reef-friendly sunscreen. And I was like, yay!
Reef safe sunscreens, people. Such an easy fix.
And it was really good, too. It worked really well.
For sure. Lauren did not get burned.
Yeah.
And it's still
And that is saying something, because I am pale as the midnight moon.
Wait, you're not paler than me.
I am.
Oh my God, you are! I've never met someone paler than me, girl.
I give off the illusion that I'm not... But I am.
Justin's signaling over here that he's paler than both of us.
Well, yeah, and speaking of Justin, how did you meet Justin? How did y'all get combined together? Because y'all have partnered, with these underwater play days. So, how did y'all meet and how did you get that connection going?
Yeah, absolutely. When I first moved to Los Angeles, I'm like completely new in this big city, and I really moved there with the intention to take my underwater artwork to the next level. And some of that's exploring underwater film and cinematography, full-on underwater performance and dance. And I decided that I wanted to just meet all the players in this area and that I would create a series of events and like a context where we could all network and come together and sort of create together. I just so few opportunities to do that. We're always kind of operating as ships in the nights or kind of singularly and on our own. And when we combine all of our creative forces together, it's just, magnified 1,000,000 times what we can do.
Yeah.
And so long story short, I ended up setting up one of these underwater play day events, as I called them. And Justin came to the first one. He was pulled in by another videographer who had come and had an idea. And he was like, Justin has his way of a background. He has a little bit of a documentary film background and cinematography. He's a scuba instructor, super talented. And this was his first time really testing out in a full underwater housing setup and imagery. And just to see that love and that light that went off in his eyes, like kid in a candy store, like, oh my God, I could do this all day. And I was like, you and I, we gotta do some more work together because it's like rare to, a lot of people I work with, they like it. It was a cool experience, but it's a little more rare you find that person that has the same level of passion about it. So
that's when I literally asked Abby while I was up here, like helping set up this space. I was like, have Justin and Ben just been like talking all weekend?
Ben, my husband. Yeah, like all this morning they were just going back and forth
blah, blah,
about
blah.
this camera,
Technical.
this software, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whatever y'all need to work out to make this beautiful art piece, yes. Y'all just keep talking.
I was like, have they been like two peas in a pod? Is it like birds of a feather up here? And she goes, all weekend.
But I love it because I feel like
yes,
there are very few people who understand the underwater thing that we have. Like last night, Justin kept, because, we got some great images, but you get some funky junk underwater, y'all. So, like, Justin was like, we have a very odd hobby, Like, it is funny. Some of the faces, that you get. And just like skin does weird things and like shadows and lighting, like we get some funky stuff, y'all.
I full on know that I would have my cheeks like puffed out in a lot of those pictures. with like the bubble, and then like you release to like get the image and all the bubbles coming out, and that would be my showstopper. Just be like, I'm underwater.
Yeah. Well,
anytime I need to laugh, I keep this like running image, like visual carousel in my brain of people's first face underwater. Like, I'll lie in bed at night and like think about these people's faces. They're like,
yeah.
you know, they're just. It takes a while to feel totally. To feel comfortable enough and released enough that it's a second home for you.
Yeah.
It takes time.
You know what you guys should do is get some of those images and then some of the images that the guy does of the underwater dogs.
Oh, we
and
actually
put
know
them like
him.
do them side by side and find the people whose faces look just like the dogs getting the balls
That's
under the water.
Hilarious.
Be
I'm
like,
not sure they'd appreciate that.
I would
probably not, but I would.
I'm comfortable enough to be like, I know I got some like crazy faces that would go along. So we should just call him up. He lives here in Nashville.
Does he really?
Apparently Justin knows him too. But
that's hilarious.
Yeah, so we should just call him up real quick. Just be like, listen, we got this project. He would totally be. He would totally
just get some of those side by side.
Yeah.
Like when people start to look like their dogs underwater.
Oh my gosh, that's a great concept.
It's a great idea.
Love that.
Thanks,
Copyright.
guys. You know.
Happened here on the Mermaid blog.
I love it. Yeah, I think it's cool because at the underwater play days, if you know nothing about what we're talking about, Jay, what happens like on the first half of the day is we do like more like technique work and meditation, and because underwater it is very easy, as I'm sure we all know, to panic and think we're drowning. And so it is very much a mind game. And so I think what is fantastic about the underwater play days is for those people who like have this first time like doing this stuff, like it's important for people to know how to tune into your mind and your body and just relax and let the water take you. So like Christine does a great job kind of, teaching that aspect. And we do, there's a moment where you kind of go through the Watsu, is it therapy? Is it a therapy
Therapy technique.
Yeah.
Sure.
Tell people about that, because I had never heard of it before, but every time I do it now, I'm like, oh, it feels so good. I'm floating in space, and I just want to be here forever. So
well, because Abby said that when she did your event in LA, it was the first time she'd ever posed underwater. She didn't get cramps.
Yep.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. That's fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, that first part of the day, and I've just worked over these past, year and a half of doing larger destination retreats and the smaller workshops to put together a kind of a body of technique and sequencing for both warming up the lungs and your muscles so that you're not going to get cramps if you hit a cold, water temperature. And on top of that, I work for a couple hours before we get into the photo sessions to help people build a relationship of trust, ease, surrender, flow with and in the water, because everything you're going to encounter there, is so many layers of fear. And if you're able to train at a physical level, this feeling of release in like this anti-gravity medium, I feel like it has really actually profound healing changes for people. So it's been an interesting part of me focusing more on the process and less on the end product.
Right.
And I'm doing more of that with my work. But yeah, to answer your question of the Watsu, there's sort of two branches of underwater healer work, and that's the Watsu community and the Aguahara. And they're really combining a type of held floating therapy technique and actual movement, and you have someone who is guiding you the entire time, so you kind of feel like you're flying and you're slowly able to release into someone's hands that will sort of move your limbs as well. So it's a bit of a massage. They type it kind of, Watsu is known as an in-water massage, essentially.
That's really cool.
I think of it more as like a dance almost than a actual massage.
Yeah.
But I'm not a full practitioner myself, but I love that technique, and I've learned pieces enough to share it in small capacity with folks, and I find it, just a great way for people to relax into the water.
Yeah. Well, and you've done the float tank, right, Lauren? Have you done the float tank? Maybe not.
No, in like
the pod and the salt water. I thought you had done that. Maybe.
No, I've talked about it because
Okay.
I think there's a Groupon.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a Groupon for what are they called? The anti-sensory pods.
Yeah.
Something like that. You know, it's like you're floating because it's salt water and it's completely dark and no sound and things like that. But you have.
I have, yeah. It's a very similar feeling is where I'm getting at here.
Yes.
It's very similar to that. And honestly, I like the Watsu better than the float tank. Maybe in the float tank, I don't know. It's, you are like with yourself and your thoughts and your feelings, so it takes longer to like relax maybe. I don't know.
Also, if you've got like even an iota of claustrophobia or like fear of dark at all, it's probably not going to be quite up your alley. Whereas like I don't have that, so I'd be like, cool, I'm just letting. Yeah.
I mean, the biggest piece for getting, if you're wanting to get good photos or even, you know, anything related to underwater, you have to feel safe. And I feel like it's a big piece that we miss if we just throw people in the water and ask them all at once to do, like, be okay without having trained the individual pieces of what it's like to have water in your eyes and water up the nose and, you know, not be fighting the water for specific poses, but just allowing the water to move you. Your relationship with the medium you're moving in is important and gets, I feel like, lost by the wayside. So as I'm moving into more actual underwater performance and not just still photography, it's become really important for me.
It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
I know that one of it was a magazine that I used to subscribe to, and then I'm hopefully getting it again from her birthday once again. But it used to be called Fairy Magazine, and it's not anymore. It's called Enchanted Living. Yeah. And they just did a massive photo shoot of underwater.
Yeah.
Like enchanted creatures.
I think it's some Cheryl Walsh. I think some of her stuff was in it.
I love her stuff. It's beautiful.
Tracy Hines had a thing, cover situation, so a couple of our peeps are in it.
Yeah, they're definitely connected.
Yeah.
I got it years ago.
Yeah.
And then
cool.
You keep following them on all the various places. I'm like, I'm going to have to get this magazine again.
Yeah. it's all like all the things that we do is in that magazine.
Well, it's a problem because all I want to do is rip out all the pages, frame them, and just put them on my wall. I don't have the room for that.
Well,
it's too pretty.
I know. It's just so pretty. I know. We love the pretty things. We do. Yeah. But I think, your underwater play day situation is really great, like, for beginners and for experienced people. You know, for me, I've shot a lot, but hadn't really, like, experienced any of the, like, the meditation aspects or the Watsu stuff like that, just like to relax and be able to like stretch a little bit before, like that typically doesn't happen for me. And so like just learning that, like, you know, what you do and your processes is really helpful to help my stuff as well. So it was great.
You should really take that time to put yourself first, take care of yourself, and be sure that, you know, safety above all else is paramount.
Yeah.
And more than that, like you want to feel relaxed and at ease, and it really is an opportunity more than just to get the photos to, like I said, train at this physical level, a feeling of surrender. Like where else do you get that you can fully release? Yeah. And you can use that opportunity every time you do anything underwater.
Whereas I know it'd be good for me too, because my brain is so associated water and being underwater with like summertime fun. And so it's like as soon as I hit water, I am like, I swim everywhere, I do all the things, because like I grew up, all my summers were in Florida, in southern Florida. So I was either at the ocean, in a pool, all summer long. So the minute I hit water, I just swim in, dive in, and doing all the things. And it's like, you have to center yourself and slow down. Yeah. Because they're not going to chase you with the camera. Right. Underwater.
Totally.
So yeah, I know that hit me hard, is because at our last pod meeting, I was also on hefty antibiotics. Yeah. So roughly about an hour and a half in, I was like, oh no. Yeah.
We gotta pace ourselves, Lauren.
I gotta go lay down. I was feeling real rough. Yeah. So yeah, beginners and intermediates. Yeah. Yes. This is for you.
Hold on to your fins, mermaids. The Everyday Mermaid Podcast will be right back. Okay, so this episode of the Everyday Mermaid Podcast is brought to you by King Triton.
Just kidding. He's swimming over to Metro Merfolk to check out their classics.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes, and Metro Merfolk, I mean, it's a group that is all about inclusivity. There we go. Words are hard, you guys, but Metro Merfolk is the place to be.
Yeah.
Because they have classes for kids and adults, and it's in the Metro DC area. So if you're like even like at all close or just traveling through, you can find them at Metro Merfolk on Facebook and Instagram. Check them out. They are our favorite little pod over there. Not little, actually. It's quite large.
That's a large pod.
Yeah, it's a lot of merfolk over there, but check them out at Metro Merfolk. This podcast is also sponsored by our friends at MerMagicCon. Tell y'all about MerMagicCon because Lauren and I are going to be there this year. It's in February of 2020. It's in like the Manassas, Virginia area, so it's going to be kind of the same Metro Merfolk little area down there. And we really need to just like go check out DC like a couple days before or something.
Oh, that's true. That'd be fun.
That'd be really fun.
I haven't been to DC in years.
Yeah, we should definitely go like check it out. Do some mermaid things over there. So this podcast is sponsored by them, and we will be there live podcasting at MerMagicCon this year. And if you don't know anything about it, all I'm gonna say is go to mermagiccon.com, get your tickets because it's gonna change your life. Everybody, it's gonna change your life. All the great mermaids are going to come, and there's classes, there's photo shoot options underwater, above the water, there's a gala. It's just a great time to be a mermaid over at MerMagicCon. So check them out at mermagiccon.com.
Yay!
This podcast is also sponsored by our friends at Mermaid Cove Shop. We kind of love them. And by love them, we mean like obsessed a little bit, like slight obsession mode.
They have all the things.
All the things, Lauren. And you know how I am about mermaid things. I just can't help myself.
She likes them a lot.
I just have a whole room because of this issue. And let me just say that this is like next level stuff over here at Mermaid Cove Shop. It's just amazing.
And they have a mermaid throne.
They have a mermaid throne in there where our mermaid friends like go and do like story times and stuff inside. But they have like anything mermaid you could ever imagine is at Mermaid Cove Shop. Anything.
It's glorious.
Yes. So check them out at Mermaid Cove Shop anywhere on the internets.com, on Instagram, on Facebook. Check them out.
Yeah.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
And by fantastic, I mean fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yes. And this podcast is also sponsored by our friends at The Filthy Mermaid. Not filthy like dirty or muddy or dirt on your fins. Like, I mean, are you laughing at me?
Yes.
I mean like sassy pants, like dressed to impress, like awesome.
Yeah.
Filthy Mermaid.
I've got something in my cart right now from them.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's mermaid clothes, and it's the Filthy Mermaid clothing apparel brand. I know they have some accessory things too, like fun little stickers and stuff. But I have quite a few shirts and things from them because it's very much everyday mermaid look. So if you're looking to like just express your mermaid self, but don't want to be like super over the top about it, the Filthy Mermaid is the place to go for that kind of thing.
Their stuff swims right up our channel.
Oh my gosh, that was the best mermaid pun I've heard in a long time.
I know.
That was great. So check them out at The Filthy Mermaid on Instagram and Facebook, all the things, and you will not be sorry, friends.
So true.
I feel like especially when you're going to translate your underwater work from a pool into an ocean context. Like I remember from the first time I went scuba diving and feeling this sense of, oh, this is a different world. It moves at a different pace, and water really demands that you move slow, that you go with it versus fight against it.
Yeah.
This is Jade.
Hi, Jade.
Stretching over here by us. And I feel like it's just really important. And we have so few opportunities in this world that a lot of my other work is in, I work with startups and companies, and it's like move fast and break things. And we need these opportunities to slow down and relax and feel like, it's not all about what end thing we're making and how big we can get it. I'm not saying those aren't important, but if you do that at the sacrifice of the process, it's just become a thing for me.
Yeah, and you've just made the process unnecessarily harder than it needs to be. Especially in film, you can have a whole lot of hurry up and wait. So it's like if you take those times where it's like cut, we have to reset something. If you take those times to really find that moment and time to center yourself, and bring yourself back into that Zen place, when they say action again, it's going to make that a lot smoother and a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. So cliche. It's about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah, that's right.
So true.
I mean, that's like one of the many things water teaches me.
Totally.
Funny.
It's a good teacher.
Yes. I have another question, but do we want to?
Yes, we should pause for a moment here. Christine, we mentioned this a little bit, but every episode we have what's called a hashtag Jody moment, which is for Jody Benson, the voice of the Little Mermaid. And to start off this hashtag Jody moment, we start off with her beautiful voice.
Every time.
All right. So Christine, we both, Lauren and I, have our own kind of our Little Mermaid stories. Like when we first saw the Little Mermaid, or when we heard Jody Benson's beautiful Little Mermaid voice. We kind of have like these fun little things that we have, but you may not. But do you? Before we go the other route.
Yeah, I think I do. I mean, the one that I really always tell people is that first scuba diving experience in Honduras. We are finally out of a pool. I got certified in freaking Quarry in Baltimore in the winter. And me, of the 5, you know how cold and dark? I mean, good Lord, I can't believe I stuck with this underwater stuff. I was the only one of my group of 5 people who actually got certified. And Justin can contest to how much I hate the cold.
Oh, yeah.
I will not do it.
Yeah.
And I did not have a dry suit. Our instructors who certified us had dry suits. I did not.
What?
But all the other like 4 males who were there did not get certified. I got myself certified because I wanted to go on this trip. And I talk about that moment a lot when I first, was underwater and first saw coral reefs firsthand. But I also, the first movie I saw when I was a kid was The Little Mermaid in theaters. And I really wonder, like, which came first? Was it, like, the chicken before the egg before the chicken?
Gosh.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that just really got in my subconscious as a child.
This was your moment where you were like, yes.
I walked in. My mom loves to tell the story. We walked in. I'd never been in a movie theater before. And I plopped myself down in the middle of the aisle because we were late and the movie was already playing. And I just was like, the screen, everyone stumbled around me, and I don't know. So maybe I have 2.
Yes, I love both of those things.
I mean, I know that Ursula is the sea witch, but it really is Ariel. It's got the capturing magic.
She does, for sure.
Oh, that was really good. Thanks.
Oh, yes, girl. You're,
pat myself on the back
for that
girl.
Yes, girl. Yeah, Little Mermaid. Something about it. It really resonates with us.
It does.
It does. And Jody Benson. We just love her.
Some subliminal programming running behind that movie.
100%.
For sure. It was
Birthing mermaids into the world.
Yes.
So true. So true.
I love it.
But yes. So my question from before was, it's in regards to kind of the what are some of the pros and cons of like shooting in a pool versus shooting in the ocean?
Yeah, gosh, that's a great question. I have done a lot of my highly conceptual work shot in a pool because you have control over the light. You have the ability to not be battling the elements. You can control the visibility of the water. You're not like battling waves.
Yeah.
You're not out on a rocking boat. You can get out. You can eat. You can go to the bathroom. You can change. You can touch up makeup. The minute you get in an open water context, a lot of my campaigns this past year, we've done more open water shoots, which I love. I mean, I love being out in the actual ocean, but, there's so many more variables and it adds layers of failure points in many, many regards that, are tough to control for. And you kind of have to roll with it. I did a campaign on location in the Bahamas and we had such bad weather that, had a lot of money riding on this and we're there. My entire team is there. And are we going to pull this thing off? And we're finally able to get out on the boat for one day, shoot it and bring it home. But it's a totally other ballgame of stress, and safety. You need, a ton of more. You need safety divers. You need to be a lot more careful in that regard. And also be conscious, to be honest, about what you're putting on your skin, what you're wearing, in the ocean, and being sure that, like, you're not with you as the model and a performer without a mask and having the right spatial orientation and context, that you're not, like, blowing into the reef. These things are... it's a lot of hurdles, a lot more hurdles.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. The ocean is its whole other thing.
She is a cruel mistress.
It's true, but I like that a lot of people don't think about the stuff that you're bringing into the ocean when you're shooting these things, you know, like plastics and just harmful chemicals and stuff. So that, like, you can do it, and you can shoot awesome things down there, but it's a lot harder and more to think about, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's just more to think about.
It's super disrespectful. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
if you're going to perform in an underwater capacity in the open ocean, in any environment for that matter, you know,
Yeah.
respect the environment that you're stepping into. It's
Yeah.
not
Sure.
your world, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Something that killed me recently. I didn't really know how to respond to it because it happened on Facebook. And it's like, this is somebody that I knew years ago, but I don't know them now.
Totally.
And she's taking a picture of a beverage she had gotten at a restaurant, and that restaurant was using paper straws. And the straw was bent. It was all soggy because it's paper.
Paper.
And she says, I hate this. This is the worst. Like, I hate that we've all switched to, like, these, like, from the plastic ones and blah, blah, blah. And I, of course, read the comments with my popcorn in my mouth.
Sipping your tea.
Exactly. And
From a metal straw.
Yes.
not one, but two people commented about how they bought, like, a value box of plastic straws to take with them to restaurants that serve with paper or don't serve straws at all. And I'm like,
It's mind-blowing, mind-boggling.
I didn't really know what to do with it. I was like so uncomfortable. I was like, my skin is peeling off.
Oh my gosh.
There is now one woman made a very good point. She was like, the paper straws are so sensory.
Yeah, it's a
sensory
lot.
bad for me that it really
I
I
don't
can't
like them.
handle it, and that's fair.
Sure.
Because it's like once you, I love it because I have oral issues, so I'm like I like trying to chew on it all day long, which is why I bought silicone straws.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
can gnaw on
Silicone.
my freaking
There
straw.
are solutions. Silicone
Yes.
straws,
Silicone
metal
straws,
straws.
and metal
Metal
straws.
ones, yeah.
And I have a plastic straw too from a reusable cup that I got, and it came with the cleaner. So now I have a little
Right.
pipe cleaner
For sure. Yeah.
for my straws. So I
Yeah.
have all the straws.
My
I have
gosh.
all the different things to gnaw on. But I was like, can I comment on this? Because I mean, they are my friend on Facebook, but I don't really know them that
I
well, and I just
know.
wanted to be like, here's some other options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Well,
don't require your straws going up a turtle's nose.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, but like there's no excuse, and especially the straw thing, like the campaigns for that are so like widespread. I'm like, if you're using a plastic straw, you like, this is not okay, and you should not, like, there are other options so readily available to everyone now because of the campaigns that have been going on with the turtle, the straw on the nose. And like, I have no sympathy for anyone that's like, this is an inconvenience to me. I do not. But the
But
mermaid,
that's the word. That's the word I'm just thinking in my head. It's inconvenient for people.
Yeah.
And there's, as much as the campaigning we can do and put the messages out there, there is a certain ingrained psychology around this convenient element and instant
Yeah.
gratification
Yeah.
that, you know, that's more inner work with those
Yeah.
people, and really you can't force someone to change. And I think that's the biggest piece I've had to, you know, just be okay with, and sort of being in an advocacy role. You
Yeah.
can't force people to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's equally as much benefit to being an outspoken, I want to change the world and change other people's behavior, as it is to being, I want to help people like change their inner landscape so
Yeah.
that they don't have those behavioral patterns. So
Yeah.
I definitely know great folks that are, you know, tackling it from either end. But
Yeah.
it's true. I don't have a lot of patience for the folks who
Yeah.
are not readily being willing to save the planet for future generations for a tiny little bit of discomfort or
Yeah.
inconvenience in their own lives.
Yeah.
There's not an excuse at this point.
And it kills me too because it's like I've lived in a country that has a much better environmental standard than the U.S. has, and that would be
Zealand, right?
yes, that would be New Zealand, 110%. So one thing, and I know this for a fact, that Nashville doesn't have a metro recycling program. The only one that they do have are recycling centers where you can go and take all your recyclables and put them in the giant dumpsters. And they will take them away and recycle them.
we were just
talking about this
about
morning.
this.
So you can do that, and like my household does that, my boyfriend's household does that, and so inconvenient, yes, but it's still doable. It's 5 minutes from both of our houses. We live in very convenient places for it.
Yes.
But the ones that are so much harder are the soft plastics, which are recyclable, but not nearly as easily. I think, do not quote me on this, I think Walmart does have a soft plastics recycling, because I'm pretty sure the last time I went there, they had a container for it.
Oh,
and all of the grocery stores in New Zealand
Take their
had a
bags back.
soft, had a soft plastic recycling bin. So like the family that I was with, they recycled everything. And this was a family of 5, 3 boys, 3 boys and 2 adults and me. And every week, 1 small trash can of garbage.
Yeah.
And that was it, because they composted, recycled cardboard, recycled hard plastics, recycled soft plastics, and aluminum and glass. And so everything else was just whatever other pieces of trash were like around.
It's crazy.
And even that can be done, because I think a lot of it was just vacuuming.
Oh,
It was like vacuum junk.
Yeah.
So so, and that's a family of 5 plus a nanny every once in a while.
Yeah.
That's 6 people who are every week to 2 weeks only producing 1 garbage can full of trash. That's impressive.
It's impressive.
So it's not impossible.
People have this figured out in other parts of the world. Like, we need to, pick it up.
You jump on board.
And honestly, like, I really always come back to the best thing you can possibly do is, like, not get disheartened by other people and hold a frequency of, I am doing everything I can in my day and moving through my life with an integrity. And you shine that out as an example to other people.
Yeah. For
And if you really focus on being able to do that. And I'm also all for, like, be an activist, be an advocate, like, speak about these, like, what other places in the world are doing and how we can also do that as but it's hard because you just can't force change.
Yeah.
And it has to really come from within.
So
first.
true.
So
So true.
Well, and really, I grew up in a family that did not. I mean, we recycled and stuff, but it wasn't like a normal thing. And I honestly, like, did not learn about this stuff until I started mermaiding. And, like, I did live with someone from Oregon who, she was very much like recycle all things. But, I didn't learn about it until the mermaiding. So we all have these great platforms just to set an example. Like, it's not like somebody came up to me and said, you need to recycle, you need to stop using your straws. Like, literally, like, the mermaid straws happened, and I was like, why are these a thing? Oh, okay, thank you for educating me on this. Like, it wasn't like someone was aggressively telling me to make this change. It was just by example.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we all have great platforms to share our example.
Yeah.
And if you're, I love to hear that, because it's like, if you're a model, even in the sense of if you're walking through life with a curious heart, and little ego, right? You're really, and you're present. You're noticing what these other people around you are doing, and then you ask questions, inquire, why are you doing that? Like, that's also just a piece around the mindset I see as, like, what we need to really have in place here. And if you're distracted all the time on your phone, you can't do that.
Unless you're listening to the Everyday Mermaid podcast.
Yes.
Then in that
course.
case, yes, you can.
Keep going.
Yes.
It's funny.
Well, this has been just a lovely, lovely experience.
Yes, thank you so much.
I mean, I have like 5 other folks who were like, oh, I couldn't make it to this weekend. Can we please have another one? And I'm like, yes, we can. And we'll just work it out. I'll be okay with that.
Happy to come
You're in
back
high
anytime.
demand. So I hope.
Sign me up for the next one.
Yeah, Lauren, you have no excuse. You are
I
coming
didn't
to the
really
next
even
one.
have a good one for this one either.
Yeah.
I just didn't take off the day, and then I couldn't find coverage. So that's my own fault.
Abby.
I take the blame. My hands just go up for that. That was my bad.
Well, next time.
Abby will have words with me about it later.
Yes, we will discuss this later. But yeah, next time, Lauren, you gotta come. And anybody else who's interested in learning about the underwater play-day situations, she's all over the place, y'all. Not just LA.
When's your next
Nashville.
one?
Yeah.
Be back in LA.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
But you can follow Christine for the Underwater Playday at Underwater Playday on Instagram. But you can also follow Christine. She is at The Underwater Woman?
Yes, indeed.
On Instagram. And you should definitely follow Justin, the photographer, a friend of ours. What, Justin?
He is at J Lutsky, Lutsky.
We will. It's going to be right here on the screen if you're watching, right here. Yes, so you should definitely follow him because you can see all of his amazing work and see kind of the photos that we've been referencing this entire time. So yeah, definitely follow him. But it has just been such an honor. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me, really. Absolutely, it's been a pleasure.
It was so fun. If you want to follow us on Instagram as well, you can follow us at Everyday Mermaid Podcast. And thank you to our patrons for supporting us. If you are just listening for the first time and have no idea what we're talking about, we are on Patreon at patreon.com/everydaymermaid, and you get an ad-free version of the full podcast every week, but you also get an exclusive bonus episode that we don't share anywhere else, and we always kind of upload some content up there just for our patrons only, so definitely check it out. You can subscribe. It's just like a membership for the Everyday Mermaid Podcast. So it's a way for you to support us, and you could do like $1, $2, $5, $10 a month, whatever you want to do, and that helps us continue to make this podcast and go travel and do all the underwater things with Christine, because we have some plans, y'all, and it's gonna cost some money.
Like
so
Raja input.
yeah, you know, just some far away places, but magical. So thank you to all of our patrons who are supporting us already. You can go to patreon.com/everydaymermaid to support the podcast. But thank you all for listening, and we will
See you on the flip side.
bye, mermaids.
Bye. I gave finger guns.
You do that sometimes, Lauren.